Hello and welcome to everyone out there. Happy 2nd of August. I hope you had a wonderful July. I've just had to re-record this video because I got a new computer and I didn't check to see if the system preferences for Zoom had been enabled and I wasn't able to share my screen. So this is the second attempt at this video. I'll try to keep it as wonderful and fluffy as I had it earlier. A couple of things to note in terms of where we're at for the past month. We have repatriated our project managers from Manila to New Zealand, and that has gone beyond our hopes and has been a really, really good exercise. So the staff members that have joined us, Trevor and Ryan, and potentially another one coming in September, they have hit the ground running, and the response that we have had from our clients has been very, very happy. So the things that we picked up there, which we knew, I mean, we had to in 2022 reach out to Manila to support us with project management because we couldn't find staff for love nor money in New Zealand. But we did make the decision earlier in the year that we thought it was appropriate to repatriate those roles. The market in New Zealand has changed, of course. And the things that we initially knew were problematic was that just communication wasn't as strong as it was for our New Zealand-based project managers. And just to be very clear, our project managers in Manila are fantastic people. Our operational team are over in Manila, and I'm very thankful for the team that we have there. But the tyranny of distance can affect that relationship. Certainly from a cultural perspective, some of the colloquial terms that we might use in New Zealand, our accent, things like that can be difficult to translate, geography, things like that. So we knew that those things were in play. But the number one thing that I've really drilled into and begun to understand that we were losing out on was the commonality that comes together when you've got staff in the office. And so this is a salient point for people that do have remote working. We were missing out on the osmosis of intelligence. So a lot of the communication that happens in the office, you hear a conversation, a staff member comes back from a meeting, they relay what the client is facing in terms of the challenges that they're seeing. And we can share those experiences and build up that knowledge far quicker than you can do when you're working with someone remotely. And so that has become, really evident to us in the last 4 to 6 weeks of how the staff in New Zealand are ticking up that much quicker in terms of their learning and their ability to maintain the relationships with the clients. What we've also been very clear on is an uptick in the communication with clients to ensure that we're having shorter tactical week-to-week conversations as well as that longer deep dive per month so that we can ensure that we are making the best value of the budgets that are in there for our client ad accounts and any changes that might be occurring from stock levels or promos or seasonality, things like that. So that's been a really, really good experience for us. Obviously, the market's still constrained for both New Zealand and Australia. I'll show you the metrics in a moment. And I did notice that in my videos, I often point to another screen. I'm working from home today, so I'm in my home office, but the same screen to my right at the office. I have another screen here. I'm not sort of pointing out into the wonderland. And so I'll share my screen, which was the problem I had with having to restart this video. And I will show you the metrics, and I will show obviously that the revenue is down for our e-commerce clients, whereas lead generation is slightly up. For us personally, July continued a trend of lower lead generation, inbound lead generation, although our radio advertising or digital advertising has stayed the same. May, June, July have been lower months. July did have that school holiday period, so I know that in New Zealand, our inflation rate has dropped. It's almost in that 1 to 3 band. I'd say it probably already is. There is economic carnage out there, as most of us will be aware of. In Australia, their inflation rate went up a little bit, which is not great. The RBA comes out next week to look at interest rates. And our New Zealand, the RBNZ, will be looking at that later this month. The tax cuts in New Zealand kicked in. I don't see them as tax cuts. It's your money that they redistribute. So effectively, you're keeping more of your money. And so congratulations on keeping some more of what you earn. $14 billion is what they say will be flushing around the economy. Let's say 2 billion of that gets put into people's back pockets, and that the other 12 billion is spent. That effectively means $1 billion a month washing around our economy. Let's hope that gets spent down at hospitality businesses. The more shrewd among us might save 4 weeks of tax cuts and go and buy a pair of jeans or a blouse or whatever it is that someone wants to spend their money on. But the key thing is to spend it, to stimulate the economy, to get the money flushing through. That's what we want. And then the more structural changes will come when we start to see those interest rates decline. I'm no economist, but they're saying that that's coming for New Zealand. Undoubtedly, it will be coming for Australia as well. That will mean that there will be more ability to secure mortgages. That'll push up house prices, and ideally, that'll stimulate the construction and trade industries, and it'll make everyone feel a little bit richer and ready to spend more money. So that is the hope that we would get into. One of the biggest issues that we see in the market at the moment is not actually economic, it is technological, and that is the tech platforms are creating difficulties for us, and I'll show you that in a moment. It's been like a very difficult period for our clients and for us because of the changes that the tech platforms are pushing through. But we have been working on some training. Before I get to that, I'll just speak to our webinar. We had some technical issues and some staff away, and so that meant that we were a little bit constrained on being able to get that webinar out. Do apologize for those that were wanting to attend it. We know that there were a few that had reached out to get it on replay. We will get that out as soon as we can, and of course it will be about modern SEO, the Google leak, and what you can be doing for AI overviews. I will now share my screen, and look at that. It looks like it's going to work. If I click share, there we go. And what you'll see here is module 1 of 4 for our Google My Business training. So we have responding to existing Google My Business reviews. We have how to create new reviews. We have how to configure your Google My Business listing, and we have how to track performance in Google My Business. So this is, reasonably comprehensive document on what you can be doing to respond, what was the benefit of responding to reviews and how you should go about it. Google, as I said last month, stole 17 of our 5-star reviews, claims that they were spammy or some such nonsense. They were from legitimate clients. We responded and said, hey, this is no good. They gave us 1 back. Don't like Google very much at the moment, to be honest. Not a lot of our clients. So unnecessary evil, unfortunately. Very arrogant and full of hubris, that particular company. Nonetheless, these are modules that we are looking to continually push out. So we're looking next at social content. So how to produce social content. Excuse me. And there is a number of different sort of areas that we'll talk about, what platforms you can be producing content on, what types of content you can be producing, a whole variety of different information around that. So if you want to get these modules, please get in touch with your project manager and they will happily share that with you. If you are not a client of ours currently, please get in touch with our sales team and we'll have a conversation with you about how we can help. So you'll see that these will continually go out. This will be in conjunction with our walkthrough videos, in conjunction with our webinars, in conjunction with all of the good content that we push out to our clients and to the public at large. Wanted to show you where we have modernized some of our internal knowledge and how we're passing it back through to our clients. So for long-time listeners of the CEO Memo, you'll know that we have a lot of weekly whips. For our Insights whip, we've really re-engineered this and had a look at what we can be doing smarter. And so now what we're doing is we're crowdsourcing all the issues that our project managers, or i.e. you, the clients, are discovering and seeing. And then we're talking about this each Monday and just trying to drill a bit further in to what solutions are there and how does this affect our clients. The output being that the project manager that you work with is now being exposed to all this and talk you through and provide deeper insights as to what's going on out there. So I'm just going to touch on these now. The first one we see is merchant center issues. So if you're running a promo and you're an e-commerce client and you change the price on your website, but don't change the price inside of your merchant center and you don't have a sync between the two, merchant center will pick that up and will invalidate it. Now, we don't want that. We want to make sure that these things are correct. And so if you are running a promo, make sure that you let your project manager know in advance so that we can align these two things so that you don't lose the ability to sell those products online through either organic shopping or, more importantly, through your shopping or Performance Max ads. That's one of them. Looker Studio issues, discrepancy between ads overview and channel overview. Well, we trust GA4 more than we trust the Google ad platform, because the ad platform at the moment is showing us a whole bunch of other conversion data that we don't think is actually relevant. I mean, yes, it makes it look more amazing, and we say, oh, we're getting all these leads for you, but not necessarily are. And so again, we just want to see what we're getting and having these conversations. And so these purple ones are things that we can have a conversation with in terms of our clients. Sorry, the blue one is, and then the purple one is the internal conversation. Using key events that are not phone, email, form revenue versus including PDF downloads. Like, we don't want to, excuse my language, bullshit our clients. Like, we could say that a key event is however many people went to the contact us page, but that isn't a conversion. People calling you, submitting a form, or emailing you, or obviously buying online, that is conversion. So being really clear what we report back to you isn't bunkum, that it's real. Performance Max gives you both leads and revenue. So how do we calculate a CPL versus a ROAS? That's a cost per lead versus a return on ad spend. What do we get out of that? Like, how do you calculate that, and how do you get the value out of your own advertising? That's something that we're looking at. Increased spam from Google Analytics 4. Lots of that coming through at the moment, creating issues with reporting. So just something to be aware of. Our dashboards, Performance Max doesn't have an ad group, so just in terms of our pushing that through to you, being able to give you that information, we have to align our dashboards. Enhanced conversions in Google Ads and optimization score. We've got a Google partner sheet that we're working through in terms of how we pass that information back to you, and does that actually matter for your business? Final URL and text assets, just some additional information that we're putting into our frameworks for your campaigns. Merchant Center, deciding that'll automatically turn on feeds that we didn't enable. So we normally have a sync between, say, a Shopify website and Merchant Center will happen automatically. Google, in its infinite wisdom, has decided that it'll go and turn on an additional feed, picking up old stock that you no longer have in stock and advertising that as available for sale. And then the client comes and goes, I want that product, and they can't get it, and then they get pissed off. Quite rightly. Why is Google turning on this technology without letting us know first? I don't know. Could they stop? Probably they won't. Very frustrated with Google. Very frustrated with Google. Updates to Google Maps. So we've got things in there now with relation to, generative AI, local blog guides, things like that. So there are other things that are going on. There isn't a lot of dialogue and documentation that's come out about that, but certainly one to talk to your project manager about if you are wanting to see that. How to best configure or break down phone conversion tracking with businesses that have multiple locations and multiple phone numbers. It's something we're working through because we want to, get a bit further into that information. GMB listings for verification for multiple locations. That one is not helping, not working that well. I know for another client that they inquired about getting some assistance where Facebook keeps on getting rid of franchise sites. So they got a parent site, parent Facebook page, and then they have the franchise location pages, and Facebook keeps on getting rid of that as duplicates. Obviously, they're not duplicates, they're the franchise location. So verification of listings can be frustrating for both Google and Meta. How to improve impression share. So we're discussing that one internally for search ads. Dispute with Meta. So what are we doing there? How to resolve it. So we're working, because we resolve a lot of issues with Meta. If you've got an issue with Meta, we can probably help with that. WordPress clients for revenue data gathering. There was an update to WordPress modules through WooCommerce, and that created an issue. And then we have a MetaFlow document for access issues. One of the big ones that has occurred in the last month, 6 weeks, has been presence and interest. So for a lot of clients who have New Zealand as their targeting for advertising, it is now showing in the Middle East a lot of your ads. Well, obviously, we do not want, for a majority of our clients, they do not want to advertise outside of the country. Right? Put it this way, if you're a plumber in the Coromandel, or you're a plumber in a small town in Western Australia, right? You may predominantly want people who are looking in the area that are living in Western Australia or they're living in the Coromandel to get your services. However, there might be someone on the east coast of Australia who has a holiday home on the west coast, right? So they might need a plumber. So they might do a search and they need someone to fix that. So that makes sense to advertise that person. Similarly, someone in the Coromandel might, someone in Auckland might have a holiday home in the Coromandel and they may want a plumber in the Coromandel to provide them service. So they might search for Coromandel plumber. And so they would see the ad for Coromandel. That's normal. You have someone outside of the region but has an interest in the region, see the ads. It is not normal for Google to then start serving those ads in a completely different country. Why might they do that? Could be for revenue gathering, I suspect. So we've had a lot of clients in the last 6 weeks see their conversions shoot up because they're advertising, Google is advertising internationally, and we're having like a game of whack-a-mole, getting rid of all of these settings and ensuring that it is only presence only. They're in the location that we have set as our geo-targeting. Come down off the edge. Right. So a lot of this information is being fed through. We'll continue to do this. I ran through that list really quickly. There's really a lot more depth that we can provide there. I'll wrap up because I've rambled on for a while now. And if you're still here, well, congratulations, chocolate fish for you. The dashboard. So we see that total users has increased, but our engagement metrics and our conversions are down, significantly down, 11%. It's a big drop. We saw the increase come in July from Matariki weekend in New Zealand onwards, and that sustained, and then it dropped back away. So, yeah, not ideal metrics, but I think we're in that mid part of the year, winter, so it's not been an ideal period. And then conversion data. I looked to see that emails in June were up 7.4. So for it to be up another 7.4, it actually shows that from May it's up 14%. Phone rank clicks were down 2.4, so now it's up 20. So again, it's up 17.5%. So that's really good. And forms are up 7.7 in June and is up another 7.7 now. So it's up almost 31% on May. So service-based businesses seem to be seeing an increase in the number of leads that are coming in, whereas revenue for e-commerce businesses has declined. And that's predominantly obviously retail businesses. So it's a topsy-turvy world out there. And we would absolutely prefer to see lots of revenue and lots of green ink, but that's going to be a timing issue. As I said earlier, we need to see some interest rate cuts. We need to see some tax flowing through the economy. And when we get that, we will see some brighter times. We've got one further month of winter to go, and then it's spring, baby. And that means green shoots. It means economic growth. It means good times, Christmas trading, holidays, all of that fun stuff. For me personally, it means that Steffi will be back and she will be able to support the team. Very excited about the back half of the year. We're through the meat of it, and now we're onwards and upwards. For those in the Southern Hemisphere, we are getting longer and longer days, and they will soon be a lot warmer. Have a wonderful August. If you need anything, please reach out to your project manager. Happy to take a call. Love you, and be well. Oh, I forgot to stop sharing so you can see my robust winter face. Better get to the gym. Bye.